These are the names that define our world. The artists who shaped our minds. The rebels who challenged our views. But of all these legends, there is one that stands above all others.
I'm sorry, did someone say my name?
What's the secret, Max?
The secret? I think you just gotta find something you love to do and then do it for the rest of your life. For me, it's going to Rushmore.
Sharp little guy. He's one of the worst students we've got.
We're putting you on what we call sudden death academic probation.
Could I see some documentation on that, please?
Did you invite that kid to your party? Max Fisher. Come on, Dad. There's gonna be girls there. I'd rather die. Pull your head out of here.
Maybe I'm spending too much of my time starting up clubs and putting on plays. It's time, homie.
Kiss me, little one.
I should probably be trying harder to score chicks.
I like your hat.
You're a teacher here, aren't you? Oh, I'm so glad you could come.
I want you to meet a friend of mine, Peter Flynn, Max Fisher.
Hi. Who's this guy?
Has it ever crossed your mind that you're far too young for me?
I like your nurse's uniform, guy.
These are OR scrubs.
Oh, are they?
I don't know what you see in her. I don't think she's right for you.
What's that supposed to be?
Hello, Herman.
How are you, Rosemary?
I know about you and the teacher.
Does Max know?
She's about 5'3", 112 pounds, glasses.
You know, you and Herman deserve each other. You're both little children.
War does funny things to men. You'll find a pair of safety glasses and some earplugs underneath your seats. Please feel free to use them.
What do you think of Max's latest opus?
It's good. But let's hope it's got a happy ending.
Rushmore.
Thank you very much.
Coming-of-age stories have provided some of the most beloved movies in cinema history. They give us ultimate relatability. In just about any circumstance we view, we can see ourselves in any of these moments or certain characters within these films. This leads to a bond with these characters through that relatability that makes the film even more memorable to each viewer. This week's film does that, while also providing a start for two careers, and a resurgence for another. Released in 1998, and the second film directed by Wes Anderson, Rushmore stars Jason Schwartzman as Max Fisher, an underachieving student with an overachieving extracurricular involvement at a prestigious private school named Rushmore. While there, he befriends rich industrialist Herman Bloom, the start of a second, quote-unquote, second career for Bill Murray, and falls for a teacher, the widowed Rosemary Cross. When these three characters collide, it sets off a life-changing journey of revenge, love, and discovery for all three involved. In our next two clips, we hear Bloom's borderline depressing speech to the Rushmore students that captivates only Max. Then the two meet. This is where Bloom becomes intrigued by the young Fisher. Then Max meets Rushmore teacher Rosemary Cross, whom he develops an obsession with after reading a message she wrote in a book from the school's library. His attempts to woo her begin here.
You guys have it real easy. I never had it like this where I grew up. But I send my kids here because the fact is, you go to one of the best schools in the country, Rushmore. Now, for some of you, it doesn't matter. You were born rich and you're going to stay rich. But here's my advice to the rest of you. Take dead aim on the rich boys. Get them in the crosshairs and take them down. Just remember, they can buy anything, but they can't buy backbone. Don't let them forget that. Thank you.
For graduation, Herman, perhaps you could give us an encore. Nicholas, Copernicus.
Pay for the whole damn natatorium. The least these little can do is hear me out.
Hello, Dr. Guggenheim.
Hello, Max.
Hello, I'm Max Fisher. I just wanted to say that I strongly agree with your views concerning Rushmore. Your speech was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, Mr. Bloom, this is my chapel partner, Dirk Calloway.
Nice to meet you, Dirk.
Well, thanks. You know, I really think you're right about Rushmore. Come on, Dirk.
What's his name again?
Max Fisher.
Sharp little guy.
He's one of the worst students we've got.
And now, our next clip.
Hello.
Hi.
I like your hat.
Oh, thank you. You're a teacher here, aren't you? And this is your first year Rushmore taking.
Uh-huh.
And how long have you been a smoker, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, let's see now. How old are you?
15?
Since I was your age.
You're kidding. You should quit.
You're right.
And I should mind my own business. Where did you go to school, by the way?
Harvard.
Really? That's a coincidence. My top schools where I want to apply to are Oxford and the Sorbonne. My safety's Harvard.
That's very ambitious.
Thank you.
What do you want to study?
Well, I haven't decided for sure, but probably a double major in mathematics and pre-med. What was your major?
I didn't have a major, but my thesis was on Latin American economic policy.
Oh, that's interesting. Did you hear they're not going to teach Latin here anymore?
This was more like Central America.
Oh, Central America and whatnot. We're moving on. They're going to cancel Latin. They've got to make room for Japanese.
That's a shame because all the Romance languages are based in Latin.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Nihilo sanctum est ne?
What's that? Oh, it's Latin, isn't it? What does that mean?
Is nothing sacred?
Sic transit gloria. Glory fades. I'm Max Fisher.
Hi.
Hi.
Come on, file out.
You sign here, please. Sic transit gloria.
All right.
You to me are sweet as roses in the morning. And you to me are soft as summer rain.
In summation, I have only one question. Is Latin dead?
The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet.
Why don't you just piss off, Fisher, you dirty wee skid mark?
Was that Latin?
Although this film carries a couple major plot lines, the main one is Max's love for Cross. It is heartwarming and painfully awkward. This brings us back to the initial point of the relatability that this film carries. Anyone would be remiss to have had or know someone that has had a crush on a teacher or other unattainable person in their life. In this next clip, we hear Cross tell Max that they can never be what he wants them to be.
Max.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
ever crossed your mind that you're far too young for me?
It crossed my mind that you might consider that a possibility, yeah?
Quite apart from the fact that you're a student.
I'm not trying to pressure you into anything, Miss Cross. But I'm surprised you brought it up so bluntly.
I just want to make sure.
We've become friends, haven't we?
Yes.
Good. And, the truth is, neither one of us have the slightest idea where this relationship is going. We can't predict the future.
We don't have a relationship, Max.
But we're friends.
Yes, and that's all we're going to be.
That's all I meant by relationship. You want me to grab a dictionary?
No, I just want to make sure that we understand each other.
I understand. You're not attracted to me. C'est la vie.
Max, you're 15 years old. Attraction doesn't enter into it.
If you say so. Look, all I'm getting at is that I've never met anyone like you. So you can take that for whatever it's worth.
I think I can safely say I've never met anyone like you either.
You haven't, have you? Want to shake hands? I'm glad we had this conversation.
So am I.
This film, along with the Farrelly Brothers' comedic hit Kingpin, could be seen as giving Bill Murray a career resurgence. This was the first collaboration between Anderson and Murray, since Murray has starred or had a cameo in all of Anderson's films. Our last clip is a brief exchange between Fisher and Bloom at Fisher's mother's gravesite. This is after the two get into a bitter battle over Cross, who ends up dating Bloom. It shows the range of Murray and shows how each view Cross.
Max?
Oh, hey, Mr. Bloom.
You said you wanted to meet?
When?
Right now. You said you wanted to put an end to all this.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna try and have that tree over there fall on you.
That big one?
Yep.
It would have flattened me like a pancake. What stopped you?
What's the point? She loves you.
She's my Rushmore, Max.
Yeah, I know. She was mine, too.
I am waiting, I am waiting, oh yeah, I am waiting, I am waiting.
In our last review of the Coen brothers movie Fargo, we discussed our tour theory. Anderson, in my opinion, is the best modern current example of this. His films take the same approach. He uses the same performers. Even the music, which is heavy on British invasion rock with composition by famed composer Mark Mothersbaugh, is consistent. This film, although his second film, really shows what we have known to be his way of making films. Heavy on montages, key on character development, biting dialogue, and a near autobiographical look at a life. With this cast, the story, the music, and brilliant filmmaking, this film is one of the best coming-of-age stories. What makes it great is despite the coming-of-age theme, it doesn't rely on cliches or rehashed plot lines. It creates its own style and follows that into embedding an everlasting, timeless, and heartwarming memory on the viewer. Join me next week when, in honor of the start of college football season, we look at the quasi-true underdog story, Rudy. For WMNH and Matt Connarton Unleashed, this has been a Classic Film Review with Erich Pilcher.
Making time.